Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Marianas Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sakurako Halstead.
And I'm Dan Shore. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories.
A Secretary of Lands is accused of taking to the water in a case of abuse of government property.
Also tonight, the U.S. government shutdown is threatening NAP benefits in the CNMI.
And the Association of Pacific Islands Legislatures prepared to enact legislation concerning the welfare of all members of the Blue Continent.
In sports, who says a simulation can't be real? Swingers in the CNMI move indoors.
Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Your search for unbeatable internet speeds is over. Visit Docomo Pacific today and sign up for as low as $60 a month so you can experience our fast, reliable internet speeds for yourself. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Say howdy to the new Buffalo Ranch sauce with its tangy creaminess and its creamy tanginess. It's your chicken's perfect partner, only at McDonald's.
Hafaday Zantero. On behalf of the Northern Marianas Humanities Council, you're invited to join us for Your Humanities Half-Hour, Thursdays at 7 p.m. here on KSPN2. We take a look at the humanities issues of interest to you and our community. Join us as we navigate the human experience together on Your Humanities Half-Hour, Thursdays, and replayed on Saturdays at 7 p.m. and on YouTube at 670 Humanities.
I love Marianas Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Hafaday, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth.
You're watching the Channel 2 News on October the 29th from our studios high up on Capitol Hill.
The Secretary of the Department of Lands and Natural Resources, Sylvan Igisomar, is facing criminal charges related to his use of a government vessel. But there may be much more to the story. The trip in question was apparently on a boat that belongs to Fish and Wildlife, and the purpose was to attend a cultural event on Manyagaha Island, about a mile off Saipan. Court documents show Sylvan Igisomar is charged with misconduct in public office and child endangerment after allegedly taking his children aboard a government boat to Manyagaha Island. But this was no picnic. It appears to have occurred during the 54th annual Chief Agarup Day celebration held just over a year ago in 2024. The event drew around 350 members of the Rifalawash community and other residents who gathered to honor Chief Agarup of Satawal, a navigator who led his people from Satawal to Saipan in the early 1800s. DLNR is in charge of sustaining, enhancing, protecting, and conserving the natural, historic, and cultural resources of the CNMI. The celebration featured a mass, traditional dances by local students, and speeches from community leaders and lawmakers. It's considered one of the CNMI's most important cultural observances and marks the start of Cultural Heritage Month. Igisomar appears to have attended the event with his children. Other boats provided free transportation to the public. Supporters say the trip held on a Saturday was part of his community involvement, not personal recreation. Also charged are 2 DFW employees who are accused of forgery, conspiracy, and misconduct in public office in connection with the boat trip. Legal observers describe the case as extremely unusual, noting no allegations of financial gain or damage to government property, while noting that this wasn't a private picnic or fishing trip. It was an important cultural event that the secretary would reasonably be expected to attend. In a statement, the Apatang administration said it respects the rule of law and has full faith and trust in the independent judicial adjudication process. It called for due process and said DLNR's work will continue under Secretary Igisomar's leadership. Prosecutor Olga Kelly filed the charges on behalf of the CNMI. It's not currently known who will represent Igisomar and if the CNMI will be responsible to pay for his attorney. All three defendants are expected to appear in court in the coming weeks. The case will no doubt raise questions about how public officials balance their duties with cultural participation and whether the prosecution has overreached. CNMI NAP EBT cards are being distributed amidst the lack of funding. The federal government shutdown continues and it's affecting the people of the CNMI. The Nutrition and Assistance Program benefits are halted for the month of November. Last week, Governor David Apatang has requested an emergency budget appropriation of $3.9 million from the legislature to pull from fiscal year 2026 revised general fund budget in support of the program. Congresswoman Kimberly King Hines wrote a letter to the U.S. Department of Agriculture describing the difference between SNAP and CNMI NAP, as well as requesting authorization of unspent funds from prior year appropriations to continue the issuing of benefits without interruption for the 5,500 households and 14,000 individuals who rely on the program each month. On social media, King Hines sends a message to the people.
Right, during a shutdown, most federal offices can't process new approvals or release any money without special clearance. So even though the money's there legally available, we're stuck waiting on that green light. And I think I'm also annoying a lot of people because I've been calling everyone and their mamas asking to help with the release of these funds. But hey, that's what I do. I will annoy people if I have to. Beg, cry. We need the money. Anyway, I'll keep pushing and following up. And in the meantime, let's take care of one another. Let's have each other's back. And let's pray that this shutdown ends soon.
Today and during this week, NAP recipients gather to receive their new EBT card as CNMI NAP transitions from paper to card.
The Association of Pacific Island Legislatures holds its 45th General Assembly here this year in the CNMI. A three-day conference at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Garapan of the Association of Pacific Island Legislatures with the theme of economic development, strengthening local economies, health and welfare throughout the Blue Continent convenes. Louis John Castro.
Well, this is the opening of the APIL 42nd General Assembly. Now, APIL is the Association of Pacific Island Legislatures. So there are island nations from all around the Pacific who have assemble every year with the goal of discussing ideas pertinent to our region as well as to their jurisdictions. It's one of the biggest intergovernmental associations as it spans 12 island nations, and it's been in existence for a pretty long time.
For 45 years, the association, made up of legislators from the CNMI, Chuuk, Coast Rai, Pohnpei, Yap, Guam, Kiribati, the Marshall Islands, and Palau, gathered to meet, greet, and legislate.
There are presentations based off of the theme. So there are presenters that are going to be offering their insight on topics that the board and the association felt were really important to discuss as a whole. After those presentations are made, obviously they do break out into working groups, into small little focus groups where they talk about issues that are important, and at the end of the day they introduce resolutions on those respective topics. So it's sort of like a legislative session, but at a bigger stage. Think of the United Nations comprising of just Micronesia and Polynesia and Melanesia.
For the Blue Continent.
The Blue Continent, yes.
Marvin Yamaguchi is the legislator from Pohnpei.
Climate change is a big problem, and it's something that we're really dealing with. The sea level rise in our state or our country is affecting our islands. As I walk down the roads or the beach side of Saipan Road, I see that we have some similar issues. The high rise is affecting the shorelines of Saipan, which is happening in Pohnpei as well. As I see, the coconut trees are falling off the shorelines because of the sea level rise. And some of the roads are being, the water is being raised alongside the roads.
Is there a way that the legislatures here that are meeting together can unite to confront the U.S. government about this problem?
Well, it's something that we're trying. It's something that we're trying, and I'm pretty much sure that's one of the reasons that we are associated to tackle the common issues that are affecting our islands.
APIL Secretary Victor Bamog from YAP is flanked by Legislative President Edmund Villagomez of Saipan.
The United Nations of the Pacific. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Actually, my first time to be an officer or even a member to sit on the table was back in late 2023. I came in as vice president, and then I was acting president from February 2024, and then I was made president in later that year, and so my term goes up to 2026. And it took over a decade for the CNMI to get the presidency seat. So I'm going to try my best, or I've been trying my best to steer the ship, hopefully in the right direction.
But first, the anthems play. The nations all rise. Students from Marianas High School share a cultural moment. The governor makes welcome.
We all share the same issue. The economy here is not really good. And thank you for visiting us. We count you as a tourist. And please spend all your money here before you leave. We need all the help. Again, thank you very much. Welcome to our beautiful Commonwealth. And it's always a pleasure to meet you guys.
And with that,
gather to share ideas, to also debate, and also to come up with solutions, not only for our own individual respective countries, but also for the region. And with that, I'd like to call this 42nd General Assembly of the Association of Pacific Island Legislature to order.
PSS Austerity Monday was set to start next week and is now pushed back to November 17. Under the CNMI Constitution, the public school system is entitled to 25% of the CNMI's general revenue. PSS Commissioner Lawrence Camacho with updates on the numbers that affect their austerity measures.
So just yesterday, the legislature also came back and said, I think we're going to find a way to get you to at least 36 for now, and then by next week, hopefully we'll get you to 39 or 40. So I said, okay, as long as I see something that says that, or I know that there's been passages of a certain bill that gets us to close to that, then also I must adjust, right? Otherwise, I cannot adjust just by sheer hearsay until I see something in writing or see momentum moving forward, because right now what I'm faced with is a $31.7 million budget. And I'm sticking to that unless things change, right? So hopefully by the end of this week, we will get at least 36 as was communicated yesterday. And hopefully by next week, we will get 39 or 40 as was communicated by next week. All that, and then my communication with the board as well, causes me now to say that I can delay another week of austerity into the next pay period, because I can feel like there's new numbers that are gonna, come around.
PSS has sent out a notice that their austerity measures will begin on November 17 instead of November 1st.
So 64 hours means reduction in pay. But when you reduce pay, that means they're not going to come to work. And when they're not coming to work, we cannot open schools on those days. And we can't open schools, there's going to be loss of learning. Then we ask the federal government to come in and help us. And then we'll pay differentials to those who can come in and actually continue on with the learning and teaching, right? And then we invite our students to come in on those Mondays. That's the only way we can prevent further loss of learning in a very tight budget that we currently have. Yeah, so we had to act, and I was very determined to start off on November, right, the beginning of November. But I also feel that that's hardship, right? And then here it is, we're gonna live through austerity for the entire year, that we anticipate at least, unless some miracle happens. So as much as I can, provide the best for our own team as well, the staff, right? And if I can afford it, you know, I'll keep pushing it. But if there comes a certain point where we cannot afford it anymore, and we're gonna have to make that adjustment.
Crime Stoppers is asking for your help. Police and Crime Stoppers are seeking public assistance in identifying this person seen on video footage. On Sunday evening, October the 26th, this unidentified female was spotted near a burglarized car outside of a residence in Capitol Hill. If you know who this person is or have any information regarding the said burglary, please contact Crime Stoppers at 234-7272.
Coming up, cross-country runners leap clouds in everyone's favorite. Welcome to Saipan.
And the Autumn Festival, where the rice harvest brews sake and the sake harvest brews J-pop. Kampai. Stay with us. You don't want to miss it.
Trust between service provider and customer is important because it forms the foundation for a long-term positive relationship. Trust influences everything from customer satisfaction to loyalty to community relationships.
Customers provide feedback on the services they receive from us, and their experience is our success.
I recommend Docomo Pacific to a lot of people, especially if you game. If you're like me, who live basically around the internet, they really, Docomo does really care for those who are their customers.
Honestly, from where I work at, I'm a customer service, and customer service is big for me, and they meet our expectations.
One of the positives of being a Docomo customer is the service. For us as a restaurant, we focus a lot on customer service, and it's nice to see, Docomo doing the same thing.
It's clear that they've been working to deliver more value for local businesses like ours. When their internet works consistently, it fades into the background, and that's how it should be.
Say howdy to the new Buffalo Ranch sauce with its tangy creaminess and its creamy tanginess. It's your chicken's perfect partner, only at McDonald's.
At Marianas Beach Resort, come to the edge of the ocean and experience the best sunsets on Saipan at Skipper's Beach Bar. Open daily from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Skipper's is the perfect place to unwind with great friends, great weather, and stunning ocean views. And every hour is happy hour with $3.99 craft draft beer, local food specials, and live music. Bring a friend or make some new ones. Skipper's is where memories are made. Skipper's Beach Bar, the best sunsets, the best fun. Come join us tonight. See you at the beach.
When I think of you sometime, want to spend some time with you, just the two of us.
Welcome to Marianas Beach Resort, and now welcome to Marianas Coffee. Indulge in the rich, smooth taste of classic coffee, or treat yourself to one of our signature creations with the best coffee roasted right here in Saipan. Craving something fun? Try our cracking marshmallow milkshake, or one of our refreshing milk teas. Stay cool with locally grown lemongrass lemonade, the perfect tropical twist. Pair your drink with our delicious cakes, desserts, sandwiches, and salads freshly made just for you. And with super fast Wi-Fi, it's the perfect place to work or unwind. Marianas Coffee at Marianas Beach Resort, where great coffee meets great style.
Welcome back. You're watching the Wednesday night edition of the Channel 2 News.
Sugarcane production was Saipan's major industry during the Japanese era. Now, after the U.S. assumed control during World War II, sugarcane production as an industry virtually vanished. However, both cultural and familial ties to heritage and harvest continue to thrive. The Japanese Society of the Northern Marianas holds its Autumn Festival at the CNMI Museum of History and Culture to celebrate the history and culture of Japanese heritage in the Mariana Islands. Before the sunlight dusks on our island of the rising sun, there is shopping, there are games, and more games. There is food. There is much more food. Did I say there's more food? And with our Japanese consul in attendance, the ceremonial barrel of sake is opened. There you go. And as the sky begins to darken, the ancient tradition of kendo is exhibited. Shigeki Tenorio, Autumn Festival Chairperson.
So the Autumn Festival in Japan, they celebrate because of after they harvest the rice. That's the time we enjoy, the entire year and preparing for winter.
The festival celebrates seasonal transition as well as honoring long cultural relationships.
I'm pretty sure it's been a long history since the Japanese Society, JSNMI, was founded. We've been doing this. But this year especially is very special because of 80 years after the World War II was ended. And also our Katori Shrine in Saipan. It's a 40-year anniversary since it was reconstructed.
And as the area darkens, the crowd grows larger. Shrine maidens plus sake equals one happy mayor. And in the black of night, the traditions of old transition into the new. The cultural phenomenon of J-pop is poppin'. Whether it's the sugar from the cane or the sake from the rice or just a seasonal transformation taking place in front of our very eyes. Kampai.
Cheers.
Kampai.
Every traveler has a story. We hear a little bit about their journey. Saipan International Airport. A place for hellos and welcome home. Also a place for goodbyes and good luck. NMI cross-country team coach Angela Tafflinger and Chad Tafflinger are taking their team to our sister island.
So we are going to Guam to be able to compete in the Asia Pacific Invitational. So we are taking our fastest runners here on island that are a part of the NMI team for the boys and the girls high school division.
The fastest runners from Marianas High School, Saipan International School, Agape, and Grace Christian are all vying to be the cream of the crop against 22 other schools.
So this group of students, they are the top runners here in Saipan, and so they're pretty experienced runners in general. Some of them, like I said, they have attended this race a couple of times, so they know what to expect. Our goal is to have a couple be able to receive the top 20. There's close to 150 to 200 runners in each division, so getting that top 20 is an honor. And so that is the goal of several of our runners, is to be able to get within that top 20.
The term, "it takes a village to raise a child," is well practiced in the CNMI.
No, we just appreciate the support from PSS. Federal funding, they have really made this possible, so we appreciate all of their support, PSS being able to get our kids to be able to participate in this amazing event.
As the team heads to Guam, Avery Acevedo takes their place.
I was doing MEPS.
MEPS stands for Military Entrance Process Station.
What branch are you planning to join? The Marines.
Marines, all right.
Yes.
And what MOS?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. But this time when you were going, was it for like just like a health checkup or something like that, or like a testing?
Yeah, there's a hearing test and a sight test.
He's graduating next year from Saipan Southern High School. The inspiration to join the military is stemmed from sibling encouragement.
My brother's in the Marines, and I just think it'll be better for my future. So far, he said it's all right, it's easy for him. He said I should try it out.
Ken and Devin Yamagishi are also in from the island down south.
My Chamorro family's from Saipan, so that's why I'm here to surprise my grandma for her birthday.
This is what the guys enjoy about our islands.
The lifestyle, the island lifestyle is just pretty great.
Like, like people like the States or like, Korea, Japan, where like it's a lot of, very populated city, but me, like, since I kind of grew up in the islands, I kind of got used to this type of lifestyle where like it's not too many people. It's like very like relaxed and chill vibes. Don't have to worry about like too much traffic when it comes to like public transportation, like compared to like the other cities. So I kind of like it. It's very peaceful, and it's really safe. Compared to other countries. So
the food, the weather. I mean, the people. That's what I love about Saipan. Yeah.
Island style through and through, even in food favorites.
I mean, a lot of the foods is pretty much the same. So it's like red rice. Yeah, red rice here, and just like barbecue. Barbecue is just number one. Yeah.
So kind of like local barbecue, that kind of food.
Yeah.
Even with its similarities, every island is different. The guys talk travel.
I've been to Chuuk. And I could definitely say that there is a difference. Only because like when it comes to Chuuk, it's mainly boat that we ride to from one island to another.
I do like my flight training, so I basically just land there and then take off. So I never actually like got down and explored like both Tinian and Rota, but I know like they're very like so much smaller than like Guam and Saipan.
Yamagishi is a private pilot working towards instrument rating and a commercial license.
I usually fly a Cessna 172.
Cessna 172.
Yeah, it's just a basic training aircraft. It's very, I guess, popular. Like around the world, a lot of people fly in Cessnas over like Pipers or Cherokees. But there's always like pros and cons to flying.
There's a lot of details and terminology and different aircrafts to know as a student pilot. Nonetheless, the guys are happy to be here.
We just love the island life, and there's no way where I would be anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is definitely like the place I want to retire. One day, like build like a house on some land.
Yeah.
And then just retire here.
Exactly. Have a beach house and just be coasting.
Yeah. Definitely.
Wherever your travels may take you, we say hafa-day and tiro to our visitors and homecomers, and adios, lalabo to those headed out.
You know them, you love them, you see them planting trees by the side of the road. Frank Otta and Dave Combs from CNMI Forestry are on this week's Your Humanities Half-Hour with Catherine Perry.
Do we feel better when there are more trees around us?
Of course. One, for example, is shade, gives shades.
True.
And, when you go there and you sit down and, sometimes you reminisce of the past. When you go to the beach and you sit down on those trees, say, hey, this was planted by my uncle way back, or I planted those 10, 20 years ago. And a lot of the trees also have beneficial to the community, not only to the environment. Like some of the trees that we started planting out also and propagating in our nurseries are medicinal type of trees. So we want to populate.
Just going outside, looking at a tree, being near a tree, under a tree, and just letting nature, come back as you're sitting quietly. The birds, the butterflies, and then you start seeing the details, and then your focus is off of whatever it was, and there's so many studies, and it's enough that it points to truth. And what we need to do is plant more and get people out there in amongst the trees. I think people start feeling better.
See more on Your Humanities Half-Hour tomorrow night, Thursday at 7 p.m. and on repeat Saturday night, also at 7 p.m. Coming up in sports, swingers move indoors for intimate foreplay. It's about golf, people. Stay tuned. Next.
The king is back like prodigal. I've been gone. I gave him time, it's been too long. Politic, if I want it, I'ma get mine. Never fake the funk, can't perform for your empire. Snatch him out the throne, make them all fall in line. I let the clock tick, count down, cause I'm on the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind. Big time.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans. Golf balls are flying and laughter is echoing from above Hoffa Bean Coffee and the nearby beauty shop as Ocean Drive, Saipan's newest golf simulator and fishing themed hangout, opened its doors this week. The father and son duo of Jeff and Luther Taylor are the brains and biceps behind this fresh venture. Their mission? Combine two of Saipan's favorite pastimes, golf and fishing, into one air-conditioned slice of island paradise. If you can't catch a birdie, you might as well catch a mahi, maybe the catchphrase upstairs. At the soft opening last night, local golfers tested out the new equipment. Local golfer Rudy Babauta proved his swing was no fishtail with his approach shot on the simulator.
There it is. There it is.
He walked away with a dozen Titleist Pro V1s. That's about $80 of bragging rights right there. Some of Saipan's top players were there and took their turns with drivers and 7-irons, and then there was a putting contest.
Could be. Could be. Could be.
Dominic, Franco, and Sakura finished first, second, and third, and they take home some prizes as well. Between the whir of digital drives, the smell of espresso downstairs, and the occasional fishing story taller than a coconut tree, Ocean Drive promises to be Saipan's newest hotspot for swinging, sipping, and stretching the truth about your golf handicap. Ocean Drive, where golf meets the deep blue. Above Hoffa Bean, below par. Always fun.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Here's the weather. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a 30% chance of isolated showers with mild east winds and low temperatures of around 78 degrees. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be sunny with a 30% chance of intermittent showers. Temperatures will range from 87 degrees in the day to about 78 degrees in the nighttime hours. The sun has set at 5:49 p.m. and will rise again tomorrow morning at 6:12 a.m. just in time for our visiting legislators to rise and stretch and look upon the aquamarine sea and to muse how our blue continent, though different in many ways, shares so very much in common. And I will see you and them in the water or on the land.
Well, that's news, sports, and weather. Thank you for joining us, CNMI.
We'll see you again on Friday.